right.
or a violet or a green, and it just really helps give a quality to what that person is like. And it's a really great shortcut. It's a great system.
It is a great language, isn't it? And I want people to know I don't do this to limit people, because you and I, Richard, both have yellow in our auras, and we yellows, as much as we're fun people and we're pleasers, we ultimately hate being told what to do. So this is never about boxing someone in or trapping them or limiting them. I'm a strong proponent of free will. It's just they help a person understand themselves and basically validate who they are. Once people find out they're an indigo or a crystal or a lavender, people go, I felt this way my whole life. Oh, my God, they just feel validated. And then it also helps us understand other people and allows them to be who they are. So it really helps with relationship compatibility and quality. So if you're hanging out with someone who has an opposite aura color than you, instead of thinking that they're crazy or weird or why don't they act more like you or how do you think they should be, you can go, oh, well, they're a tan. No wonder they're acting that way and talking that way, and these are the beliefs. It makes so much sense now. So it just helps us be allowing towards other people's life purpose too.
Right. And do our colors, the colors that you're looking at, the ones close to our body, do those change or modulate, or I'm not quite sure the word, as we gather life experience?
Well, first of all, I've been doing this work for 27 years now. Some people, when they're in their power, meaning they're living their full potential of that life color, that color can get very big or very bright, or it's just much more expansive. If a person is living the out of power, I use that word out of power instead of negative, the downside, the out-of-power qualities of that color, then their aura can start looking a little faded or raggedy, or it's just not as vibrant and bright and fulfilled. They're living the negative qualities of that particular personality. Now, I very rarely see someone actually changing their life colors to a completely different color. But again, I emphasize free will, and I believe people can do anything they want, but the life colors usually reflect what you have chosen to do in this lifetime, whether it was to save the world and humanity, or whether it was to be funny or a healer or to be a helper or to be a writer or, to analyze reality. There are certain things you've chosen to do in this lifetime. Now, you have free will. You can change that. In which case, Richard, I have seen over 27 years of doing this, a handful of people actually change their life colors.
Wow.
But usually that's been because they've already fulfilled the aura color that they came with. They already did what they thought they were going to do, and so they're going on to a whole other aspect of their life now, and they've changed their colors. It's really fun to watch, but it's not all that common.
Wow. I get slightly hung up on the idea of, hung up at the idea that you could actually change your colors is really, that is an amazing idea, that they would clear up a karma or whatever we want to call that, or do their life lesson that they came in to do, and then graduate into another kind of path. But as you say, right, it's a free will universe, so that people could do that.
Right.
It's hard. In my case, it's hard to imagine that I would go from being a yellow to, I don't know what, something, puce, I don't know. I'm looking at
right.
to a completely different color.
Now, a lot of people are going, I think I changed my colors because I feel totally different than I did a year ago. Mostly, that's typically because someone had suppressed their real life colors their whole lifetime because they had been raised to think they were supposed to be a practical, responsible, logical tan. So they had added a lot of tan in their aura, and now their natural, real life color, say of a violet, is starting to emerge. So it's not that they've changed their life color and their life purpose, they're just finally starting to come into it. That's usually more likely that why somebody feels like their life has changed. Or I see like a blue violet. A blue violet is somebody doing 2 lifetimes at once. So that's typically a person that goes, well, you know what, I'll come back down to this planet one more time, but I don't want to do this again, so can I just get it all done with in this lifetime? So they do the blue part of their life first, where they want to get married and have children and have a home and just be in love and all of that. And then all of a sudden, their violet, at some point in their life anyway, their violet kicks in, and they no longer, all of a sudden, it's not about being just a parent or a housewife or something. All of a sudden, they feel this strong desire to go save the planet or to do huge projects or to become famous. Or all of a sudden, their entire personality starts taking on a shift. But that's because they had already decided to be a blue and a violet. So it fits still with their life colors.
How interesting. It's really, I've spent a lot of time listening to Pam, and I've seen her lecture and read her books, and I've always thought it was a wonderful system. And as you talk about it more, it's even, greater because of its ease of use in conversation.
Right.
And it's interesting use of, as you speak, of talking about how it can, graduate or change, or I really get now the intensity of the colors can modulate, as you gather what I'm calling life experience.
Right. Well, and I want people to know that, well, first of all, I have received calls from different professionals that use the Myers-Briggs testing to help people understand their personality. And I called up and said, you know what? The formula, the protocol, or the methodology of the aura colors is very similar. Matter of fact, almost identical to the Myers-Briggs testing. But the colors are easier to remember. They're more fun. They're sexier. They're just they can remember their colors much more if they can, instead of, am I an I, E, T? I forget what I was. It's just easier to understand.
It is. It's as I say, it's been a great shortcut. Having looked at a lot of and spending time with astrologers, it's always the classic, oh, my moon is in blah, blah, yada, yada, and my Scorpio's, midheaven, but this is always a much easier once people get a kind of it's an easy thing to explain to people. Oh, in my case, I'll point at me again, I'm a yellow. And the character, I'm fun and playful and like to have a good time, hate to be told what to do. And it's a really easy thing to explain once people get that.
Right.
That's one of the things I love about this.
Right. And I want also to share with people, we've all experienced feeling the aura. We all have. I'm sure every single one of us have at one point met someone, and we really like them for some reason. We like how they feel, and we want to be around them. And then we've met other people where we just pull away and go, oh, I don't like their energy. I just don't. You're feeling their aura. You're feeling their energy field. So this is not something that's way out there. This is something we've all experienced. And science has even been doing research on it. There's lots of stuff on science knowing that we've got an energy field around us. So that's fun. And also, Richard, really quick, we have been using the language of aura colors for a long time, and I feel like people don't realize that that's where it comes from. For example, we talk about somebody being true blue, or I'm feeling blue today. Those basically describe the personality of a blue. So how did we come up with the theme true blue? It's not like a person turns blue, right? But blues are very loyal. And then we've got red with rage and red with anger and red with passion. Those are words to describe someone who has a red life color. Or we've got the happy face yellows and playful yellows and even chicken scaredy cat yellows. And those basically describe a yellow personality. Then we have green with envy and green money. I mean, who came up with green with envy? I mean, it's not like our skin turns green, right? Other than that is a quality very common for greens. Then we've got royal violet robes, and violets are very royalty, and you have quite a bit of violet in your aura too, Richard. Not just the yellow anymore. You've definitely got a lot of violet in your aura anymore. So violets are royalty. They feel like they're here to do something big. They are leaders. They are visionaries. They are here to help change the quality of life on the planet, to help improve it, to lead the masses. And so we end up with purple robes, and royalty. Now, way back when there were knights and kings and whatever, the reds were in power. Red life colors were in power. So then the robes were red. Because back then, that's when they ruled. Red's a very base physical, the knights and the physical survival on the planet. That's a very red quality. So don't you think that's interesting that we've been using that language for a long time?
I think it's an amazing thing. I'd like to actually know where that, exactly what you're talking about, where that that expression, green with envy, came from. How did that, and exactly as you're saying them, where did those come from? How did those form? I mean, some
Now,
really
I believe
old psychic?
I believe